Okay, so today I wanted to get on here and share sort of an epiphany or a realization that I had when I went to a local greenhouse yesterday to go plant shopping. And honestly, it was a little bit sad. So I wanted to share it here with you guys and see if those of you with medium to more advanced plant collections have ever come to the same conclusion or had the same feelings. So I now have sort of I would say medium advanced plant collection. I have, all the Hoyas that you're going to probably find at, the big box stores or even at the local nurseries, kind of like not your base level, but like one level up. And then I have, a couple in the mid range level. It's not like when a new variety comes out and it drops for $1,000, I have those. Maybe I acquire them years later. But, my collection is to the point where I pretty much have to do all my plant shopping online, which has its perks, right? I can, pretty much get anything the moment I decide that I'm going to go buy one. I can do it from the comfort of my own home, and I can really shop around and decide how much I want to spend, et cetera, et cetera. But it has sort of taken away I don't want to say joy, the spontaneity and excitement of going to a plant nursery and stumbling on a plant that you didn't know you existed, didn't know you needed. You see it in person and you kind of you go, oh my gosh, I have to have that. I'm going to grab it. And it's so fun. And, that's why, that's the basis of shopping for anything, right? Like clothes, etc. But specifically plants. And this isn't like shading the nurseries here in this area. They're beautiful. We have great nurseries, great ones. And, but it is just, I had this realization because I was like, yesterday I was like, let's go plant shopping. And I was really excited and it was super hot out. And I'm like, okay, we're going to go in this nursery. And I walked around, was maybe in there a few minutes and then left. And I wanted to buy something. And I was ready to buy something, but they just didn't have anything that I kind of don't already have, which is fine. Again, they're beautiful, beautiful places, and I still enjoy, walking around and looking at the plants and stuff. But I just was wondering if any of you guys have had that sort of realization of, if I want to buy, this, they don't really have a selection for me anymore. And that's okay. That's totally okay. It just is kind of a bummer because I do love the feeling of when you're ready to buy a plant, you have the budget, right? Step one. And then you're like, okay, let's go buy a plant. I'm looking for something like this. And you go out and you can't find it. And shopping online, like I said, has so many perks, but I do love that feeling of going out and either stumbling on something or you finally find the one that you've been looking for. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to say, we'll go to a specialized plant shop instead of a nursery. And we have maybe one of those in our area. It's a super cool plant boutique. I love it. However, it still kind of has the same thing of they have a little more uncommon plants and things like that. But again, once you kind of get into those like higher levels, it's just like you have to buy everything online. And the downside of that is you can't see it before you buy it, right? We've heard so many horror stories in the plant industry of a plant coming, infested with bugs or way smaller than the picture or freaking even half dead or fully dead. You know what I mean? I shared a video a while ago of my disappointment of ordering a plant online, and it's a super bummer because once you've like saved up the money and you're like, I'm ready to add something to my collection, something new to care for, and you finally pull the trigger and then it's just not as advertised. That's a big bummer. So I'm just sort of lamenting about this good problem to have, I guess. But I just would like to know if any of you like more medium advanced plant collectors have, maybe I'm slow to the game on this. Maybe you realize this a long time ago and you're thinking, geez, like that's kind of a simple realization to kind of come to the conclusion to. But it really just hit me hard yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to be finding anything at just like the local greenhouses anymore. And that's fine. That's fine. I, probably will still go there for pots and, fertilizer and potting soil, and I'll walk around and look at all the beautiful plants, and I'll still have a great time. But that one little aspect will be missing of, stumbling on something to add to my collection. The only way I could see that resurfacing is if I switch plant genres, because right now I do mostly Hoyas. I have some philodendrons, for example, like for some reason, if I like switch to alocasias or something, that would sort of reset my shopping areas. But I don't really see that happening anytime soon. I thought maybe it would, because I see so many other people switching, like, oh, I'm selling all my Hoyas because I'm really into, philodendrons now. And so I thought, okay, that'll probably happen to me sometime. I'll get tired of Hoyas or something like that. But I really don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I love Hoyas. I'm looking at them all right now. They're all in this window behind the camera. So yeah, then I thought, maybe I should do something about it. Because if I'm feeling this way, there's likely other people that are feeling this way, that miss the shopping experience of going in and having that tactile experience for, this collection that we have and we share. So I thought maybe I would try to do something about it. And so I'm brainstorming all these ways, like, okay, well, I can't just go and open up a store. That's like a huge, you need like a lot of like capital to do that. And some people take out loans. Like, I get it. That's just not something that I would do right now. And then I thought maybe I could partner with like a local shop and do weekly drops of, more rare Hoyas at that store. And then it would, my audience would bring them maybe more foot traffic than they would get. So yeah, while I was driving today, I was just thinking about all of that, and should I be the solution to the problem, or should I just share my woes on the YouTube, all those kinds of things. So those are just my thoughts. And like I said, it's such a small problem to have, but it is a very big part of my life, these plants. So for me, I was kind of bummed about it. And like I said, the greenhouses here are amazing. It's me, not you. All right. So anyways, that's the deal for today. I hope you guys are having a great summer, and I'll see you next time.